Hey everyone, this is Tom from MonTac here doing the weekly MonTac Matchup with Misfire for September. I think it's September 3rd. Yes, I believe that's what this one's going to be. How are you doing, Misfire?
I am doing very great. Thank you so much for asking.
Enthusiastic as always. Alright, let's get right into it. We have a lot of matchups in this round 1 fixture. Top 6 will not be participating in this, which is very interesting because this allows for a lot of close matchups to decide who's going to be proceeding and also who's going to be entering that wildcard bracket. So, obviously, right off the bat, we've got a very interesting matchup with Charging Badger taking on Tamoose. Now, a little bit of background, they've played before. Also, Charging Badger has stated that Tamoose is someone he believes will be hitting that top 8 and staying there at some stage, and their last match came down to basically 1 health point, and Tamoose was very eager to get that match set up again. So, you know, you are aware a little bit of what these guys can do. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
I do believe that the last matchup could definitely be a good indication as to what may happen. Charging Badger is a Sky Soldier one-trick, but he is really good with Sky Soldiers. Even after Geminiing him in our championship match, he was still able to make it close with his Sky Soldiers, which is a precedent to tell you how good he is with Sky Soldiers. So the question is...
I definitely agree.
So the question is Tamoose going to be able to adapt to Charging Badger's strategy, or is he going to fall flat and not be able to counter the important things he needs to?
Yeah, completely agree with that. It's going to be a really big one. We're either going to have Badger start to come back on the rise after he's had a couple rough matches, or Tamoose burst through and make that break into the top 8 over a really dominant player. Alright, well then, so you'd be picking Badger in this matchup?
I do think Badger has the advantage based on experience, but I do know that Sky Soldiers don't have good matchups all across the board. So I wonder if Tamoose will pick a deck that has a good matchup, just specifically for Badger.
Fair enough. I don't know what he'll do in terms of deck-wise, but we'll just have to see. That'll be really one of the big questions going to that matchup. The next matchup, Shadow Galaxy Wolf, was actually going to be proceeding straight to round 2 after Wrath of Causes had to unfortunately forfeit. So she'll be joining the top 6 there. She obviously was 7th ranked, so it's not a massive upset there. The next match we got is Zweistein, someone who came all the way to the grand final of the last tournament we had, taking on Doozy, another very interesting player who's got a lot of different tactics they use in their matchups, and a lot of experimentation with bandits and angels together. What are your thoughts on this matchup, Misfire?
Hearing bandits and angels together, it's actually pretty interesting to me, but I do think that Zweistein has a good advantage because he's shown that he's able to perform under the pressure. I mean, he made it to the grand final, defeating current champion Squishy along the way.
That's true. The issue is the only people he's really had trouble with is Apocalyptic and Badger. He just can't seem to get past them. They are the only people he's ever lost to, I believe. So, but he's played them both twice and lost both times. So it's a real barrier for him to get through them. I mean, obviously, I think he can, but it's just going to be about what's his game plan once he enters round 2, etc.
I do believe that his game plan is probably going to remain very solid no matter what he picks. I've seen him play Terosians, I've seen him play Angels. He definitely has a good range.
True. So would you be picking Zweistein for this matchup?
I do believe Zweistein will get the win over Doozy in this round 1 matchup.
Alright, fair enough. Rich Potato coming back, taking on Shadow. So Shadow is very well known for his Steel Edge play, and Rich Potato very well known for Angels, but what do you think he's going to come in with in this matchup?
Well, there's definitely quite a bit he can choose from. He picked up the entire Rogue Beats package, and he also picked up the Mutant archetype, so he could very well use one of those archetypes.
Actually, Mutated is SM Robo. Rich Potato currently only has Rogue Beasts.
Oh, yes. So Rich Potato has Rogue Beast. He could implement a small Rogue Beast engine in his deck, but at the same time, that may help out Steel Edge. So Potato might actually reconsider and play a different strategy. I don't know.
Fair enough. If you had to pick out of these two, what do you think is going to be who do you think is going to be winning here?
The thing about Rich Potato is that while he is formulating a deck, he hasn't actually had in-game experience, at least in official matches, over the past 2 months. So it is possible that Rich Potato could be falling behind when it comes to gameplay. In fact, he might not even know what the current meta is shaping out to be. So that could be something to think about.
And then we've also got, now the last 3 matches, I don't think you know anybody in these last 3 matches. So I think what we'll do is, we'll leave these last 3 matches, and we'll just finish it off with this 5th one. Let's get right to the one of the bigger questions of the tournament. Former champion SM Robo has won. He basically, to run it down, obviously took the championship from Potato, defended it to Potato, had 2 months straight of dominance, finished up, but then had a horrible loss to Badger and left. Now he's come back, and he's taking on Tailsweet, a very good Terosian player. Still unknown of what Robo will be using. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
It's the same thing with Potato for Robo. Robo hasn't had any official match experience. And like you said, Tailsweet is a good Terosian player. That's your words, not mine. But Tailsweet is playing a different version of Terosians than what SM Robo is familiar with the changes that came to the cards. Not just the artwork of Terosian Exchange, but also the changes to stuff like Orca, the changes to Predator. Those changes really hit the strategy hard, and they make it a better deck overall. So I think SM Robo is really gonna have to learn what these new Terosians can do before he goes out swinging to someone who may put him in his place. Although I will say Tailsweet doesn't have the best record, so Robo might be able to win, but ultimately comes down to how he handles the new era of Terosians.
True. But the thing is, if he doesn't get this win, this is going to be a really rough way to finish off what was such a dominant career. He took down everybody when he was at his peak, which is very, very similar to currently Squishy, who's actually done the same thing, same amount of tile defenses as Robo, same amount of time that he actually held on to the tile in terms of how many competitions he's won. I guess if you had to compare the two, who do you think comes out at the moment?
Well, there's a few things that are interesting when it comes to the two of them, when it comes to their specific reigns. SM Robo's reign happened during a time when some of the archetypes weren't even optimized. Most of Steel Edge was just not that great. Stuff like Bandits were not even considered. Terosians didn't have a board wipe, not a board wipe, they didn't have target removal. But, and stuff like Sunwalkers now, Impervious Gemini was one of the most cruel cards in the entire game at that point. And while it still is, it's not as cruel as they used to be. So,
True.
Robo played in a completely different meta. So, it's not really fair to compare the two when it comes to their reign, when, despite the fact that they were champions in the same set, the format itself was completely different.
True. Alright, so let's just wrap up the matches and give me your quick picks. Charging Badger versus Tamoose.
I'm gonna say Badger.
Zweistein Doozy.
Zwei.
Okay. Rich Potato and Shadow.
Right now I'm gonna say Potato.
Alright, thought you were going to throw a curveball there. Tell Sweet Robo.
Right now, I'm going to say Robo.
Ooh, alright, fair enough. Alright, and then the other matches are definitely going to be interesting to see how they pan out with all the potential people currently coming through. And US is incredibly dominant in this tournament. I think we've got at least 50% is US, so... Alright, well then, let's, that was all the matchups. I appreciate you giving your picks, Misfire. This is going to be quite exciting. And hope you have a great week.
Let's have a great week, everyone, and let's play some MonTac.
Sounds good. See you guys.